La emisión está comenzando. Todos los asistentes están en modo de solo escucha.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this webinar for Blockchers project. We are still waiting for connections of the participants, so we will wait a couple of minutes for everybody to join, and in a couple of minutes we will start with the presentation today. Thank you very much for joining, and let's start in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Let's start now our webinar for Blockchers project in order to show you the updates about the open call and how to participate in this program. Today, we will present you an overview about the open call, which is closing in a few days, 27th of May. And also we will try to solve some questions and some issues regarding participation, eligibility, and what you have to do in order to submit a good proposal. Also, there will be time for questions and answers. We have an option here in our system, in our go-to webinar system, to send questions in order to have it all listed, and then we can afterwards answer all of them in order not to lose any question from you. And also, if necessary, we will open your micros after the presentations if you want to make any open questions to all the audience, and we will try to solve you all your inquiries and all your doubts about the call. Now I give the floor to my colleague Nestor Chaleco, which is in charge of the organization of the call in the Blockchers project, and we will start with the presentation. Thank you very much, and enjoy the presentation. Your voice next.
Okay, good morning to everybody. I'm Nestor. Thank you to Javier here from Zabala. We are Javier and Nestor present. If you have any doubt, you can ask us. So we are going to talk about the Blockchers project. No, it's an open initiative to promote the distributed technologies in Europe, and we have right now open a call trying to reach good ideas and to to find new solutions for the SMEs in Europe. So first of all, I'm going to share with you a little video that is we think is a good summary about the project. So first of all, I think it's a good introduction for the project. Let's see the video. Yeah. It's not. Sorry, I will. Okay. So after this introduction that we think is really visual and is good, no, for have the first idea, we are going to explain more in detail the characteristics of the project and specifically of the first open call that we are closing 27th of May. It's next week. The Blockchers project has the support of the European Union. It's a cascade funding project, so we have received the money from the European Union, and we are in charge to distribute this among the SMEs all over Europe. So we have started the project this year, January of 2019, and has a longer of 2 years. Inside the project, as I have said, we have money to distribute for entrepreneurs, and we have 750,000 euros for distribute in the conditions that we are going to tell you later. We are 4 partners inside the project. We are from Zabala, here Javier and me. We are Zabala Innovation Consulting. We are a consultancy company located in Spain with more than 30 years of experiences in the innovation management and in the management of different calls and helping the companies with the research and innovation activities. Later, we have, in addition, we have Frankfurt School Blockchain Center from Germany, Innomine from Hungary, and Alastria from Spain. I think we have partners attending some partners. So if you want to have a brief presentation for you, for example, Manelin, if you may present you from the Frankfurt School, if you have. Manelin, we can't hear you. I don't know if you are there. So perhaps later you can speak with her. Almudena, are you there from Alastria?
Can you hear me? Yes, hello. Yes, I'm Almudena from Alastria. Alastria is one of the partners, as you said, and it's providing the infrastructure. Is a blockchain, public permission. And can you hear me? Hello?
Good morning. So we will be.
Hello, could you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Hello?
Hi, Almudena.
Hi, Almudena.
Ah, hello.
You can go.
You can go.
Wait.
No, thank you.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Well, I just wanted to say hello, and just saying hello and mentioning that we're the partners offering the infrastructure. Alastria is a public blockchain, public permissioned, And we think and we're convinced that it presents several advantages, and that's also the reason why I think we were chosen to participate in the project. Is that Alastria is basically by design being and focusing on being compliant with European regulation and legislation, and it's open. You don't have to pay gas to use the network, just being a member. And there are several opportunities with us, and I'll touch base on that later. But saying hello and prepare to answer all your questions. Thank you.
So Manolin, if you want to say a few words.
Is it working now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, hello, my name is Madeline Laura from the Frankfurt School Blockchain Center, and we're also one of the partners. We're teaching about blockchain and hosting multiple events. So you probably will see us when you get selected. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you to Almudena, to Manolin. I think that today people from InnoMind will not attend, but you know, they are located. It's also a consultancy company located in Hungary, and they are also supporting the police as coaching and in all the process of the project. So, speaking about the project, Blockchers, what are the general objectives of the open call and of the project in general? No? So the first, in this first open call, we are trying to select two SMEs, no, that we are going to call the Blockchers, no, implementing distributed technologies in traditional SMEs or end user SMEs. Later we are going to explain what are what we know about traditional SMEs, what we know about technological SMEs. So later we are going to detail. So we are going to support the Blockchers from the idea to the implementation of the idea inside the blockchain or the distributed technologies with a funding up to 50,000 euros. But not only funding, there are different services that we are going to offer also to the SMEs. One of the main objectives is to make the matchmaking among traditional and technical SMEs. So the principal objective is to have the link between the traditional SMEs, the end user SMEs, and the technological solutions that you are trying to provide them. So it's important to have this matchmaking, this relationship. And later we are going to disseminate and communicate everything that we do. So for the SMEs, it's important to have more dissemination all over Europe. It's a good opportunity to spread your message and to give your technologies be known all over Europe. And finally, we are trying to create a dialogue between policymakers and stakeholders, because here is involved the European Commission. We are going to have different events, different activities with them. So it's an opportunity also to promote among the policymakers the needs of the SMEs and all over these technologies. In this case, we have said before, the objective of the open call is selecting some SMEs and small and medium enterprises developing technological solutions with blockchain or other distributed technologies for the validation in some end-user SMEs developing use cases. No? So the important thing here is directed for SMEs. No? We are talking about SMEs. There's not individual persons or group of individuals here. In this case, we are talking always about SMEs. We have selected some domains to we think the solutions may be directed, no? Because as we have considered, there are some needs and opportunities in these domains, but there is not anything something close. So the main domains we have selected before is the Industry 4.0, the mobility and transport, food and retail, media, legal and compliance, and health. But as I said before, we have left the other domain where if you have an idea that you consider is good, is disruptive, and is going to give a high added value to the end user's needs, you can also send your idea. Please don't send any idea that you have. If you don't find your domain before, don't be afraid and send your idea if you consider that is good. It's open to everybody. What's a use case? No, we are trying to explain here what we consider the use case. So we have an end user needs from any sector that we have said before that has a problem and they don't know how to solve it. No, so they are going to call a technological SME. That's the one that has the knowledge in blockchain, and together they are going to develop one use case. No? The use case is the solution to the end user's needs using blockchain or other technologies. For that, it's mandatory to have a letter of commitment between both SMEs. So before sending your proposal to our open call, you need to have this commitment. You need to have contact before the end user SMEs, have the commitment that it is interested in your solution, it's interested in the proposal, and you have the commitment of them with a signature. Later we are going to explain better what is the template and how do you have to do. But this is the use case that we are looking for, no? The end user with a need and the technological SME with the solution. And we are working in a funnel approach. No? We are right now in the first evaluation phase, no? Where we are going to receive all your proposals. We are going to make a first evaluation of proposal and select up to 12 SMEs in the first stage. These first SMEs, so during summer, we are going to, we need to sign an agreement, a contract. So we are going to be during the summertime signing contracts and everything. Because of the public funding, we need to fulfill all the requirements from the Commission. And then later in final September or first stage of October, we are going to have an event in Budapest, in Hungary, where the preselected SMEs have to explain better in a pitch, no more than 5-10 minutes, what is their solution and a first visual approach of the solution. So then in this pitch, in the first, to prepare this pitch, they are going to receive some money, and then in the second evaluation pitch, we are going to select the 8 SMEs that they have to develop the use case to the final stage. No? The implementation phase, we are thinking in 4 or 5 months, from October to January, February 2020. And then in January, February, we are going to see all the solutions and give some prices for the best ones. So, but as we have said before, there is not only money that we are trying to give you, no? It's also different services that complementary that we are offering the SMEs. For example, as Almudena has said before, Alastria is offering an established network for use the infrastructure to the LT. So if you need to use one infrastructure, you can use this one from Alastria. It's not compulsory to use this infrastructure, but it's a service that we offer. Zavala and InnoMind, we are making a continuous coaching during all the process. No, we are helping the SMEs and regarding if they are fulfilling some indicators, intermediate indicators that we are going to have with all the selected companies in order to help them to advance developing the use cases. Also, there is technical support from Alastria, they are the experts in the technologies and the blockchain, investor matchmaking, and from Frankfurt School, we are offering a free access to a certificate program that is valued in 5,000 euros. It's going to be an online program, but for the selected companies, the access to this course is going to be free. So there are different services and complementaries to the money that we think is they are also interesting for you. So now we are talking directly from about the first open call submission. No? We are right now involved in the open call. It's open since the end of March and till the 27th of May. So we know that we don't have a lot of time. It's only 10 days. So if you have opened your application, please try to end it soon. And if you have no right now or already you have not opened your application, please try to do it as soon as possible. You have time, so it's not really complicated, but don't wait until the last minute. The way to apply is via the F6S platform. It's an online platform to help in this kind of open calls and proposals. So then you have to register then and go to the Blockchers channel to apply. It's really easy. The process, I talked before about the process. Right now we are in the submission phases, from the open call. Then all the proposals are going to be evaluated and sign a contract. Well, this is the same that I have seen before. So the immersion phase from September to October is directed to prepare the pitch. The companies preselected are going to have 3,000 euros funding to the travels to Budapest and some hours to prepare the presentation. And then from October to January, February is the real implementation of the use case with 30,000 euros of funding. And at the end, with the prices, you have more funding. The maximum of funding that an SME can receive here is 50,000 euros. So here is detailed all the process. So I think if you have any doubt, then you can ask us. It's more or less detailed. And before submission, as we have said, please, we ask you to read the guidelines that we have in our website, because I think they are more or less well explained and mainly issues are solved there. Also review the main questions already answered in the facts, and remember you that we are using public fundings. So be careful with the compatibilities of your projects. If you have sent your problem or submit your project to other call for funding, please be careful if there are compatibilities or incompatibilities between both proposals. It's important, and we are not going to review that, but it's up to you to be sure that you are compatible. For the submission, when you go through the F6X platform, the first thing you have to identify your solution that is directed to one of the preselected domains. We have said before, and I repeat, they are not closed domains. If you have an idea for other sector that you consider is really interesting, please apply and go on. Here are some guidelines, some things to help you, but it's not closed. The second thing, and maybe the most important, is the contact with an end user SME and the signing of an agreement between both companies. This is mandatory. Here you have the template. Also, in the web page, you have download this template. It's really easy. It's only one page, but it's only to reflect that you have done this contact with the end user SME. You have a company that needs your solution, and it's not only a good idea, but you don't have a market. You have selected an end user SME with a sector that has a problem, and you are going to try to solve the problem of this SME and all the sector in addition. So this is important. And the third step is to find the online form. Please, here we are saying, please take your time. No, I know that right now we don't have a lot of time. It's only 10 days, but it's really a short questionnaire, only 20 questions, I think. More or less, they are only to select one of the options that we are giving you. And in the ones that you have to explain your solution, that you have to try to convince the evaluator, take your time to well explain what you are trying to do. No? Because here in this call, there is no possibility to give more information after. No? So we are going to evaluate that you have right in the proposal. So please take your time, be careful, explain well what we are going to do, and it's our advice. So at the end, we are going to be evaluated by external evaluators, but in terms of you have right here. And right now, I give the floor to Javier already to explain more the eligibility conditions and the selection processes. Thank you. Thank you, Javier.
Thanks, Nestor, for the first part of the webinar. Now we're going to talk about the main issues regarding eligibility, some critical issues, some questions that we have to keep in mind before submitting information in order to make your proposals eligible. So take all this information as very, very important. So the first one, and this is crucial for being eligible, is that you must, so applicants that are, so the technological SMEs that are applying to this program must be an SME. And this is our eligibility requirement, so make sure of it, and you can check if you are an SME or not, checking the SME user guide published by the European Commission. And also, if you have any doubt, you can also, because maybe in some of the European countries, there could be different types of enterprises or ways of building an enterprise. It could be also considered as an SME. Ask your national contact points or national information points if this is specific for your country, and check the SME user guide and SME tools that the Commission offers you to check if you are an SME or not. Okay. Also, the other SME which you develop the use case, so the end user SME should be also an SME according to the European Commission definition of SMEs. And the letter of commitment between both companies is compulsory. Okay, if we do not have this letter of commitment, which can be attached in the F6S platform, then if this letter of commitment is not uploaded there, then your proposal will not be eligible. So template for the letter of commitment is available in the open call instructions. You can check there, and please do not forget to include the letter of commitment in your application. Okay. As usual in the Horizon 2020 calls, the only SMEs, both SMEs, remind that we are always talking about both SMEs, though technological SME and end user SME, participating should be legally established in the eligible countries of the Horizon 2020. You have the list here in the screen. I'm not going to stop there, but so it's the usual definition for or eligibility criteria that is used in Horizon 2020 calls. Only one proposal per SME will be accepted. Okay, so if you send two proposals from the same SME, then both proposals will be ineligible. Okay, so pay attention to that. Only one proposal per SME will be accepted. No subcontracting is allowed. Okay, so you have to develop the use case by yourself. So what we are trying to finance is that you as technological SME are developing these DLT solutions to the traditional SMEs. We are not financing companies that subcontract other more experienced companies that can develop the solutions for a price. No, this is not the aim of the call. So no subcontracting is allowed. You have to develop the solution by yourself. So pay attention to that, because otherwise you will not be eligible. And also, please fill in the proposal with valid and searchable information at F6S. If you are making some mentions to other projects, to other initiatives, or to any actions that you are developing, please make sure that we will be able to find them or to consult them in the internet in order to make the evaluation process easier for the evaluators and to check if your progress on your actions that you have already developed are true and are correct and valid for our call. Regarding the first of call evaluation process, okay, when you submit your proposal, it will be evaluated first of all with an automatic sorting based on the answers that you have already written in the F6X platform. There will be issues that if the answers to these questions are relevant for having a good project or evaluation, then the application will assign red flags to the proposals. Okay, so these red flags obviously are not public, and these will make a first automatic sorting of the proposals. Then the proposals that are complete by according to the requirements of the call and the eligibility criteria will be evaluated by two different experts. So an expert call has been also launched by the program, and this is also closed. We are finishing the selection of the experts, and they will be contacted in the next following days for finishing the selection. And two different experts will evaluate each one of the eligible proposals. So the criteria for the evaluation will be following a technical approach. So the technical solution using DLTs that is described in the proposal, which is the team behind the project. This is the reason why it's important to define who will be in charge of defining the solution. That's why subcontracting is not possible. Okay, so there should be a team behind the project to make it credible and to make it possible, and also the feasibility of the business plan. So the questions that we are asking you in F6S platform are limited of characters, have a limit of characters, so there will be no true extents, but it will give us a good overview about the feasibility of the project. There is one specific question about the business plan and the plans for the SME that is willing to participate in this program. So all these issues will be analyzed by the evaluators. Once we have evaluated all the projects, the results will be communicated to all the participants with a rejection letter if the proposal has not passed the evaluation. If you are have a good proposal but cannot be financed at this stage, you will receive an announcement of the waiting list. And if you are selected because your proposal has reached all the requirements and have a good evaluation from the evaluators, you will be pre-selected. So every selected, every submitted proposal will receive this kind of answer from our side to know that you are, if you are selected or not. Okay. After that, with the companies that have been selected, we will sign the sub-grantee agreement, which is necessary to provide you with funding for developing the projects within the program. Regarding the main channels of information for all the necessary steps and all the issues that we are developing in Blockchers, where you can find information and how you can contact us for everything that you want. You have these different kind of channels in order to contact the Blockchers team, which is the email to this email account, hello@blockchers.eu. We have a Telegram channel, which is very active, in which we can answer quick questions and doubts from your side regarding the open call and regarding the Blockchers program. So we are not using this channel to make announcement of services of companies and so on. There will be other ways of doing that, and other meetings or activities organized for networking and so on. So we encourage you to use this channel for questions, answers, and comments regarding the Blockchers call. The website, in which we publish regularly information about the call and some posts regarding the DLT technologies and news about the developments of the project, and also the Twitter channel #Blockchers, which is also very active, and in which we replicate all the information that we publish in the other channels also. Don't forget to check the frequently asked questions section that is available in our website, and the guidelines for the applicants, in which we have tried to answer the most usual questions that we receive from the potential applicants. And maybe some questions that you have and you communicate us through the Telegram channel maybe are answered there. So please check first the frequently asked questions section in our website, and also the guidelines, which are available in our website, and maybe you can find there the answer to your question. If not, of course, we are also open to you to solve everything that you may have. And that's all from our side regarding the information of the call, regarding the information of the Blockchers program, the participants, the partners, and so on. We hope that the information in this webinar has been useful and clear for all of you. Of course, this webinar will be recorded and published in our YouTube channel. And now we have a short time for questions and answers from your side. Don't hesitate to open the micro if you have any question for us, and we will be very happy to help you with this and to solve your questions. You can also use the GoToWebinar option to make the questions, and of course we are open to you for any comments or any issue that you want to share with us. Now let's check the questions panel. No questions from the sections. Any question, any comments from the audience? No hands are raised up. Okay, Jordan has a question. So if you want, Jordan and Victor. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, in our in the website, in our channel, so the question and answers section in the GoToWebinar tool, we have a question from Victor, which is that if you are a freelance, if you can participate, if you are a freelance in the project. So regarding this issue, so it's important to check that that you must be an SME according to the definition of the European Commission. That's the main point. So check the information there, and check the different requirements and different issues stated there according to the definition of the SMEs from the European Union. If you are a freelance, which are working in an SME, the SME must be the participant in the program. If you are working for them, it's an issue that you have to solve with them. If you are doing the work that the SME is saying is included in the proposal, it must be considered as a subcontracting. So please be aware of that. Check the eligibility and pay attention to that, because so the recipient of the money of the program should be the SME which is submitting the proposal.
Here, it's important to demonstrate that the freelance is not working only for this work, for this project. No, is usually working for the company, may be considered as an employee. But if it's going to work only for this project, it's going to be considered as subcontracting.
Exactly. Exactly. So I hope it solves your question. No, Victor. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have also one question from Jørgen Sorensen about this. It is recommended to use a specific DLT. We are thinking on a more blockchain agnostic approach. Will this hurt us? So there is no specific issue regarding DLT. So if the project is based on DLT technologies and what you are proposing is technically feasible and is solving a problem of an end user by using the DLT technologies, feel free to propose that. Then the technical evaluators will assess if your technical proposal is feasible and possible or not. And in principle, there is no restriction for that. Okay. Regarding the question from Julia Nita, how important is the size of the team? Okay. When in our formula in F6S platform, you have to describe the technical capacities of the team. So if you with a reduced team of people which are very skilled in DLT technologies, you are able to develop and to convince the evaluators that you are developing in the right way this use case that for the traditional SME. It's okay. So it's not, there is no restriction of that the team of the company is from 2, 3, 10, or 15 people. If you are an SME, it's correct. Of course, if you are only one person or two persons in the company, you have to make an effort to clarify, to make the evaluators aware that you are able to develop that. So with references, with information regarding other projects, and so on. So there is no restrictions for the teams, but it is important to prove that you will be able to develop the DLT use case. Okay. For what kind of services or products can be used at 30K? This is free. This is free for you, so you will receive this money for developing the DLT use case that you have already proposed, and if you have been selected, this is a money that you can use in your company for doing that. Except for subcontracting tasks. So this is not possible. You can use that for paying the people. You can use that for creating some assets or some licenses that you need for doing that, but not for subcontracting other company that develops the issues for you. Okay. Then you have to also to check the eligibility of expenses in the Horizon 2020 programs. We have to follow that. That's a requirement from the Commission. And also just to pay attention to that you cannot subcontract any other company for doing the work that you have committed to do if you have been selected in this program. Okay. We have another question from Pablo Lopez, which is the idea should be just an idea or a project, or it must be working in a real situation. So what do you have to the issues that you have to use here in this Blockchers program is the main issue is to solve a problem from the traditional SMEs, which has a problem, which has an issue that they need to develop and to implement, and how they can make use of the DLT technologies to solve these problems. And what you are going to do is to propose a use case. So you have detected these problems or issues from traditional SME, you will propose one solution based on DLT. So if you are already working in this issue in your company, it's okay. If it's new for everybody, it's also okay. So the only issue is that you have to respect the compatibility if you have been financed before for developing your idea with other programs, and that the expenses that you will have are compatible with this program. That's an issue that you have to check. So in principle, all the ideas that you propose here are available. Okay. The second question is the SME must be dedicated 100% to this project and work in another project at the same time. Of course, you can work in another project. So this is other issues. So this is an additional issue that can. We are aiming at fostering and helping the SMEs to have more resources and to have more services and issues and different additional services available in order to boost your company. Okay, so of course you could be also involved in other projects. Then the only thing, as I mentioned before, is that you have to make sure that your this project is compatible, so that there are not incompatibility issues with another financing programs if you are involved in another issue. Check the eligibility of the companies, your SMEs, and check this issue regarding the compatibility of expenses. Of course, you will be working in another things. Okay. Next question: what are the chances to pass the automatic sorting evaluation for a newly created SME startup? What do you mean by the skills of the company in the guideline? So we are not discriminating companies regarding the date of establishment. Okay, so what you have to do is to make it clear that you are an SME, that you are registered in your country as an SME, that you are eligible, and that the team which is behind the SME has the skills and the knowledge of the DLT to develop the things. So that's the only issue. So we are not judging if you have been established yesterday or 2 months before or 2 years before. So if you are correctly and legally registered, you are eligible. And then what you have to demonstrate that the people behind has the skills and the capacities for developing the projects. Okay, that's it. So there will be no red flags regarding this issue. For example, if you are an SME which is established in a non-eligible country, because maybe it's the case, no? That we may have in other programs we have received proposals from people from Asia. So these companies are not able to participate, even if the project is very good. But this is a requirement of the call. So the eligibility is only possible for SMEs established in the European countries, which was already shown in the presentation. That's the issue. Okay. Good. More questions? More comments? I don't know if maybe some of the Blockchers partners, Almudena or Manelin, want to make some comments or some recommendations or some issues.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if there are no more questions, or if anyone has any question regarding the infrastructure, I would just point out a little bit more in detail what I mentioned before, that Alastria is an international public permission infrastructure blockchain, and that it presents several advantages because it was designed to be compliant with European legislation, but also to be accessible to everyone and create an ecosystem so that the partners are just members of the Alastria Association, which is an NGO. And as partners, they have the right to use the infrastructure for free. I mean, just by paying the access to the Alastria Association, which in terms of SMEs is pretty cheap because it's around 500 euros a year. But then there is no gas that has to be paid or any other costs in between. And also besides the access to the network, it gives also the access to the whole ecosystem. So there is a lot of work being done commonly, collectively together in terms of building a functioning and positive ecosystem around blockchain developments. And this means that all the partners have many opportunities to mingle together, to network, to work together on verticals like health, sports, cultural issues, banking and finance. There are other commissions like ethics commissions, legal commission, business commission. So you can participate in specific groups that are devoting time to develop knowledge and shared visions, and also just specific business projects on specific areas, and by subject and by sector, let's say, so that you mingle with possible clients and with big companies as well, because in the Alastria ecosystem you have all sorts of partners. The majority is actually SMEs, so there are many partners like you with which you can find synergies. But there are also very big companies that might be at a certain point your clients as well, and also even and also NGOs and universities and all sorts of different partners. So on one side you can just be a user of the platform, being a member of the association, and just use it for your business purposes, but you can go even beyond and also profit from the whole knowledge network and ecosystem built in there at a European level. We are members of INATBA, the European Association of, or International Association of Trusted Blockchain, which was built under the auspices of the European Commission. In that sense, we're doing a lot of work in being connected with other trusted blockchains as well, and as I said, basically within the European scope, fostering or guaranteeing access to a network which respects European legislation and aims at offering a safe platform in that respect. And if anyone has any questions, we would be very pleased to answer in the webinar or outside it.
Thanks a lot, Almudena, for the presentation. It's very, very interesting, and it's for us an honor and a pleasure to have you. That Alastria is on board of Blockchers, so I think it's very, very, very valuable, the contribution of Alastria for allowing all the SMEs to develop the things and the DLT technologies in the project. So thank you very much. I think that we have also Boglarka from InnoMine online, so maybe we can a few words about InnoMine, because there were some technical problems to join.
Yes,
so,
yes. Sorry.
To make words about you, about InnoMine for the audience.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Very well.
Okay, great. Sorry, I had a technical problem, but I'm here from 11. But yes, I'm Boglarka Tompa from InnoMine, from Hungary. So our company is an innovation management expert in Europe and in the USA. So we have experience with startup management, acceleration and mentoring. And within Blockchers, we lead mentoring program, pitch event and implementation of the experiment, and dissemination and communication. And I'm a consultant in the InnoMine group. I joined in the InnoMine about 1 year ago.
Thank you very much for the introduction of InnoMine. So as mentioned, it's a very pleasure to have this skilled group of companies, Frankfurt School, Innomain, Alastria, and Tabala in this project to foster the DLT technology development in Europe. And I think that so for all the SMEs participating and all the collaborators and partners of the project is a very good issue to have all these companies on board, which are committed to have a great success of the initiative. We have so thank you very much for being here today. We have a last question about the use of different technologies and tools in the protocol and in the solutions from Julian. So regarding the infrastructure, can we use the BPS SO tools but to install our own DLT protocol? So regarding the technical implementation of the project, from our side, we don't see any problem for doing that. That's what you have to check is that it complies with the use case that you are developing. So we are not making restriction about the use of DLT. If what you are proposing in your technical description of the project is linked to the DLT technologies, it's okay. So you have to describe it with kind of tools and issues are you going to use or what we are going to develop. So it will be evaluated by the evaluators if it technically is possible or not. So if the technologies that you are, technologies and the developments that you are going to do are linked to the DLT developments, there is no restriction for doing that. Okay. Okay. No more questions are in our dashboard from the webinar, and if no more questions are coming from your side, I would say that we can be okay with the webinar today. So Nestor,
so thank you very much. No, thank you very much to attend. So if you have any other doubt, you have the normal channels, the web, the mail, and the Telegram channel. So if you have any doubt fulfilling the formula, the questionnaires, be free to ask us. So thank you very much for attending.
So don't lose the time, so hurry up because we have only 10 days, but it's enough time to complete the proposals. So thanks to all of you. Thank you to Almudena, Boglarka, and Manalin from the rest of the Blockchers team. And good luck with your proposals, and we look forward to receiving many good, interesting projects from your side. Good luck, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Funny, sorry.